Welcome to Life in the God Lane. I'm Tom West, and this is my power verses for the day for the 18th of January 2022. We're going to look at Matthew 24, 9 through 14. And I call this pretty simple, end times stuff. End times stuff. We're going to look at some things that have to do with the end times. Now, I hope you'll subscribe. Push the little bell so you get reminded every time I roll one of these things out. Make comments, give me thumbs up, do everything you can to help me get this out to other people. Share it with them, text it to someone, and maybe it could be helpful to them. It will be, because we're teaching the Bible. There always seems to be intense interest about end times stuff. There's more end time stuff around, and certainly in the Bible, than we will see in today's text. But we will see end times stuff today, and it will become obvious that we are in the end times today. So we want to look at Matthew 24, 9 through 14. 24, 9 through 14 of the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus speaking, "Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But he who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." Jesus said all this between AD 30 and 33 sometime during his ministry, probably a little bit later on. And by the day of Pentecost in AD 33, Jesus had died to pay for sin, been buried, and been raised from the dead. And then the Holy Spirit came into the church, launching the last days. That was the day of Pentecost in AD 33. We are still in the last days now. The last days are characterized by at least these 7 things here. There are many more, but they're characterized by these 7 things. Number 1, believers will be persecuted, even put to death. This happens today worldwide, all over the world. More Christians are dying today for their faith probably than any time in history. Second, the believer will be hated by the nations because of Christ. The world is not happy about light exposing darkness. And because of that, people hate believers. Not all people, but a lot of people. That's certainly going on in this country. There is a definite switch, and people, we are the visiting team. We're not the home team, and people hate believers. A lot of people do. The nations do. Nations means ethnics. Any people group is a nation. Thirdly, believers, many of them turn away from the faith. That's happening all the time. We are becoming a post-Christian culture. Fourth, believers will betray each other and hate each other. That happens today. Fifth, many false prophets will appear and deceive many. It's always about, a false prophet is always about a gospel other than where you're saved by grace through faith, based on the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Christ. Those are the basics of the truth. And there's false gospels all over the place. Sixth, wickedness will increase. Woe is that going on. Wickedness will increase. It is impossible to miss the fact that wickedness is increasing all over the place. And seventh, the love of most will grow cold. You know what we need most? We need love, man. We need to love people. We really need to love. We need to love each other. We need to love the lost. And we need to love our families. We need to love. And that's going cold. Love is going cold. It's a sign of the last times. We're in them. Our call, stand firm to the end and be saved. And what that means is grasp Jesus first and hold on. Grasp Jesus first and hold on. Now I want to go back to verse 14 and read it again. It says this, and this gospel of the kingdom will be preached to the whole world as a testimony to all nations. That means all people groups, all ethnics, ethne is the word. And then the end will come. Everyone on earth will hear the proclamation of the gospel of the kingdom. And the gospel of the kingdom is the rule of Jesus Christ as Lord. Everybody on earth will hear that proclamation before it's all said and done. They all received the testimony. They all received the chance to come to Jesus. Then, that hasn't happened yet, by the way, but it will. Then the end comes. There it is, some end time stuff. It's all important. Grasp Jesus and hold on. I'll see you tomorrow.